Hello everyone, my name is David Roach. I'm a Partner Solutions Architect at AWS, and I work with SUSE to bring their products to AWS customers. Joining me today is...
Hi, my name's Stephen Morgan. I'm a Public Cloud Solutions Architect here at SUSE.
And in this video in the SUSE on AWS series, we are going to discuss what the SUSE Public Cloud Update infrastructure is and how Amazon EC2 instances connect to it. Now, in the first video, we discussed the two buying options for SUSE Linux on AWS. It was pay-as-you-go and bring your own subscription. And we also touched on the SUSE Public Cloud Update infrastructure and the benefits that it provides for SUSE on AWS customers. And as we discussed the SUSE Public Cloud Update infrastructure, we also underlined or called out that an internet connection is required for customers to make that connection. Now, Stephen, can you provide additional details on the SUSE Public Cloud Update infrastructure?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we've discussed in the previous video, we have around 100 instances providing this service in AWS, and all those instances are scattered around the AWS global infrastructure. Now, we have two main types of server which form this service. The first is what we call our region servers. And we currently have 6 of those. And the second type are what we call our update servers. And at time of recording, we have 96 of those. But understand that that number will increase because every time AWS launch a new region, we'll add an additional set of update servers in order to service that region.
Okay, and the difference between the two roles, the region server role and the update role, what services do they provide the instances that are connecting to it?
Yeah, so the region server has pretty much one primary role, and that is to provide a mapping service to the instances. So it will decide which region your instance is in and then provide the IP address of the local update service.
And the update server role, what does it perform for the Amazon EC2 instances?
Yeah, so the update server is that's the type of instance we have that's providing the mirror of all the software repositories. It's the one that's responsible for delivering updates to your instances.
Okay. And when I launch an instance, and in this case pay-as-you-go, do I have to do anything to kick off the registration process so that it connects to the update infrastructure?
Yeah, so for pay-as-you-go instances, the client is built in and enabled by default. So when you start this instance up, it will form the connection as needed. Now, the first thing it will do is it will contact one of the 6 region servers that we have. Now, the addresses for all of those are baked into the client software that's on that particular instance. So it can contact any one of those 6 instances. And we actually provide a region hint to help the mapping service figure out exactly where in the world your instance lives. Now, the response we get from that should be the IP address or the address of your local update server within that region, at which point your instance will make a connection to that update server and set up all the software repositories it needs. And at that point, you can start running Zypper to either install new software or update the existing packages.
So, as you described, the client does make a connection to the region server. It gets a hint, the region server hint, and registers with the update server. What ports are used in that communication to the region server and the update server?
Yeah, so all the SUSE update infrastructure client connectivity is handled over HTTPS. So the only ports we need to take care of are port 443 for both connectivity to both types of server.
And as far as this service, how long is it expected for the instance to fully register with an update server?
Yeah, okay, so that is something that I would measure in seconds rather than minutes. Usually by the time an instance has started, it's already gone through this process and started to build out the repositories that it needs. So pretty much as the instance is booted, you're ready to install or update software as needed.
Okay, and I know that this is a supported service by both AWS and SUSE, who can assist customers. But what's a common issue that a customer may encounter and solve for? Yeah,
so normally we say the whole update infrastructure and all the connectivity is an invisible service, right? It should be completely automatic. It's not something that really needs to be touched by the customer, but on occasion there is a need to look behind the scenes to see what's going on, maybe troubleshoot what isn't happening. And the first place to look for that is the log file. And that is var log cloud register. Now, there's a couple of things you can look for in there. The first one, you'll see both the region servers and the update servers that you're trying to connect to, and potentially you might see some error messages if there are servers not responding or ones that can't be reached for some reason. Now, what we normally find is that probably 99% of the issues that we see with the update infrastructure is down to client connectivity. What we need to do is ensure that if we do have those security conscious customers, quite rightly, that they add all 6 region servers to any network restrictions that they put in place, because the client can connect to any of those 6. And then as for creating safelist for the update servers, you can either add just the update servers where your own instances exist, or if you want to, you can add all 96, but be prepared that that number will increase as time goes on.
Absolutely. So for customers that do want to restrict these outgoing connections by their instances, and as you said, you know, we do encounter customers that do restrict and have a more restrictive network policy. Where can they go to identify and know what region server and update server IP addresses are?
Yeah, sure. So if customers want to know what the IP addresses are, then they can visit this website, or one of the easiest things to do is to visit this website, which is pint.suse.com. And there's a site where we basically publish all the information, all the IP addresses about the region servers and the update servers in AWS, and you can use that information to populate your safe list or your allow list.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate this. I know that there are a lot of customers who do have questions on this topic, and you know, as a quick recap before we end this video, this is considered an invisible service, right? It does work for, as you said, probably 99.5% of the customers. They don't encounter any of these issues. But if you do encounter an issue, you can look at the var log cloud register log file, and you can review that and kind of help identify what exactly is going on. And if you do want to create or add the region server and the update servers to your allow list, customers can go to pint.suse.com and see those IP addresses that are associated with each of those server types.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for that. And I want to thank everyone for joining. At the end of this video, you will see a QR code with additional link to resources. Thank you.
Thank you.